like we can just do it like that, but man.
Oh, you
So you wasn't on, man? On none of them?
Nah, none of that. I'm retarded. It's too left.
Man, it's all good, man.
Now we live, man.
We on the air, man. My man was not live. I was the only one live. I thought we was live. We been talking right.
But guess what? We back, bitch.
Hey, man. My man. Oh my goodness. We on the air, man. The official room is
The room is officially open, bitch.
Man,
we
where
back.
they at, man?
Come on in here, yeah. They said, hold up, they will let a couple guys know, but we in the building.
Man.
Got my man Tip, my motherfucking co-host, man, long time, 30 years plus friends, man. Family, like in my eyes, I don't fuck that friendship, so we family.
Man, we've been around forever since kids, man.
Man, you know what?
Kids.
Your uncle, my mother was locked in for a long time. They probably don't know that, but they ain't for everybody to know, but you know. Those that know. If you know, you know. And we definitely apologize because we had one of our special guests, Face the Nation, was supposed to be here today, and he wasn't able to make it due to some other situation that came up. And you know, everybody got their personal life, so we definitely understand that.
We're gonna try to get them locked back in, man, for the next episode, man.
Yeah, no question.
Also, man, look at in the near future, we're gonna have, man, my man Tony Blunt, man, Paradise Original, man, gonna come on here and chop it up with us, man. Right there, man.
Give us some free
Shout out to Tony Blunt, man.
Yes.
What we was talking about before, we thought we was on the air. For those of y'all that just coming in, man. When we thought we was on the air.
How you looking?
Yeah, I think I'm live.
Okay.
I'm live, but I ain't really, you know, I didn't really tell nobody. So I don't think they know.
Yo, what? Tell a friend. Come on, tell a friend we on.
Yeah, we on the air, man.
But yeah, like we gonna try to like double back on what we was talking about, as far as the influence of the streets, right? And the impression that the streets have on our children and our youngers. And sometimes man, I still see today that the streets impression and whatever, you know, impression is on not only the youth. I see motherfuckers, older guys that still doing the same shit, but we was talking about basically the kids. And I think what we can do for the kids, man, like I said earlier, lay the foundation down for them, teach them respect, teach them morals, teach them how to have dignity about themselves, teach them to have patience. I mean, just lay the groundwork of just being a good person. And once you get outside of your home and you be around individuals that's not feeding you that same information, then it's gonna be up to the kid to try to cipher through that and should be able to know this the right thing and this the wrong thing. But a lot of times the kids get influenced by what they peers doing.
And then you know what? It's easy, man, to get out there and get caught up out there, man. When you in a situation where you struggling or your parents on drugs, like you see, it's easy to have those kids, man, gravitate to the streets, man. Some people can't, you know, some people probably wouldn't be able to survive without it. Like, so not to say don't down it, but because we definitely don't want none of our youth doing it. For real, we can help it, but we got also understand the situation sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
you hit right on. Like a lot of times when people come from that drug impoverished environment and they moms and dad on it, like it's hard. Like me and my wife, we be talking about it all the time, and which is true. A kid, you got your own decision to make.
Yeah.
You got your own decision, but if your money, like you said, I think you said that last time we talked, it can be two kids and grow up in the same pipehead house. And one can grow up to be a pipehead and one can grow up to be a minister.
Yeah.
So it's really all on a kid, but for a kid that young to be around that environment, so that's kind of harsh, man.
And you gotta remember that everybody is affected differently by certain situations. Like you might could have survived coming up in a house with two parents that's on drugs. And another person probably couldn't make it because some people get motivated by that and say that they say, man, I don't never want to be like that. I'm gonna do better. You see people grow up in those situations and man, they graduate school, go to college or get good jobs, and you know what I'm saying, they never look back because they motivated by what they went through as a child. You know what I'm saying? They don't never want to go through that or have their kids experience that. So it's a lot that goes into that, man. It's a lot that goes into that.
Especially for the ones that got the younger kids, like the 13s and 14 years old, that's really being active now. Like if you're a parent and you find yourself in one of them situations, if you can't move and get your kid out there in the environment, that's the number one thing. If you're able to move and get your kids out there in the environment, then that's the best thing to do for your family. But if you can't do that, then to be honest, I think you just gotta let your kid grow up and pray on it, give it to God. Cause I've been through it. I've been through it. Not with my son. Cause my son, he not really out there in the street. But with my stepkids, we had to, like, in a sense, as a parent, like, you gotta kind of like let go. Like, fuck, what the fuck? I can't make you. I can't make you shit. I can't make you shit. So at a point, me and Mika used to be like, when they not home, we gonna pray, man. And and we gonna sleep. We gonna leave it like that, cause and God knows, and my kids know what they was getting into. Right. And they know it wouldn't even know. He got a friend that's in jail now. He got friends that been shot. So I know the environment he been around. So I just, it goes down, man. It goes down, man. Yeah, man, y'all come on in, man. Get with us. So it's definitely a blessing, man, to be good. Okay, yeah.
Be back, y'all. Way back.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to tell you, bro.
Yeah, I would say,
kids, man.
To piggyback on what you were saying, as far as like, you gotta hope and pray, as far as when they out your sight, man. You already know, like,
let it go.
Ain't the worst feeling in the world. I don't know how many other people experience this, but I experienced this. The worst feeling in the world, like, was one of my kids got shot.
Yeah.
And the no, I wasn't there to protect him. I couldn't do nothing about it. And you know what I'm saying? Like, he was in a situation where he couldn't tell me who done it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's one of the worst feelings in the world, man. I wouldn't want no other parent to go through that right there. You know what I'm saying? Wondering if your kid gonna be alright, if they gonna survive. You done seen so many people around you get killed, or kids get killed, or things of that nature. By the grace of God, my son made it through. He's doing well today.
Yeah.
But it's an experience. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy right there. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy right there, man. It ain't nothing like it right there.
Like, yeah, I
devastating. It's a devastating experience, man.
It's a devastating experience.
You know what? The one thing I learned about myself during that experience with that night when my son, by the grace of God, he made it home to bang on the door.
Yeah.
After he was shot. But you know what? The one thing I remember about that night that stood out in my head. And think about this. I think I'm tough. I'm dad. I done been through some things. I done did some things.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me nothing. That's what I'm thinking in my head. But
yeah, you was a mess.
But guess what's so funny? I lost it. I kind of
you
blanked out.
Yeah.
My phone was on the couch, and I'm circling the couch looking for the phone.
Yeah.
I'm circling the couch because I panicked. And guess what? While he on the ground wounded, told me, man, Dad, calm down, your phone right there. You know what I'm saying? Don't let me bleed out like this. But it was the scariest thing in my life, I think, man. Like, the worst thing, I wouldn't wish that on nobody else. And like we said, you can't control it. He went to the store for me. I can't control what happened out there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Something happened to him, man. It's just crazy, man.
But that's the grace of God that he was able to get back home, Slim. Like, you know, I think the piggyback on, go back on what you said, how you ran around the table. I think that was your adrenaline, Slim. Once your adrenaline got worked up. And you couldn't refocus. You couldn't refocus on what the task was. You like, man, let's back. Ho. You like nigga.
It was so crazy because
I can imagine, Slim.
You know, man,
I can imagine.
Like knock on wood, but I done ducked bullets and some other things before, and I wasn't that scared then. During that situation, like I didn't know I had to snap out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like so much is going through your head. I'm thinking, who did it? What happened? What's gonna happen? Like everything is going through my head. This my oldest, my firstborn, right here. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy, dog. So I just
life flashed before your eyes. It's like you.
And so just imagine what the mothers go through that birth these kids and they get killed or something happen to them and they leave, man. I just can't imagine, man. I can't imagine, man. So,
but yeah, a lot of times, like going back to, like you say, once they outside our house tip, like I don't care how old they get, the best thing to do is pray for they well-being, and let them grow up, man. But going back to, like, it's hard. Like I said, going back to the kid that's in a ghetto and brought up in the ghetto, and they moms can't get out of the ghetto, get them out of that environment, man. Like, that's my best advice, man. Just pray. Because if you can't get them out of that environment, the motherfucking outside influence is going to be heavier, in my opinion, than what you teaching them in the house. That's just my opinion. I mean, unless you keep them in the house, and that's the only side that they getting. But once they get outside and they get both sides of it, it's kind of like a rap. But not all the time, not always though. But just from our experiences and my experience growing up,
you got some success stories.
Yeah, not saying they gone forever, because they can go and see that they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. Yeah, then come on about it. Okay, let's go to the next route. Yeah. So
you get some of them that just go all the way in, man. It's like, this ain't nothing you can't teach somebody. It's either they got it in them or they don't. And sometimes ain't nothing we can do about our kids when they choose a certain path, man. Some you see some guys be some babies.
Hey Slim, you just said a mouthful right there.
I'm about to say somebody. Think about this, y'all. We talking about the youngest dying and our kids and the youth, but who killing them? It's the youth. The babies are savages. So we got to think about, you think about your kid dying. Think about how many of us on here or people that come in this room. How many of your kids done killed their kid? We gotta talk about everything. It like I say, go both ways.
It gets deep.
It go both ways. So it's a lot, man. It's a lot. Then sometimes you gotta know what your kids into. And you gotta know what your kids into, man. You gotta know what your kids into, man. Or try to know.
And me, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't know what my stepkids into. I don't think their mom knew what they was into, cause when they was with us, I ain't even gonna do it, but I don't think we knew everything. Me personally, I know I didn't know everything was going on until after the fact. So
you never do.
So I mean, it ain't for us to know, because my mother ain't know what I was doing till the police ran in my house. Like she did that. I was hanging out with my friends. Like she ain't know until the mother FBI's came in, and then she like, oh, what the fuck is you on?
Oh, this what you into?
The fuck is you on, boy? But yeah, man. But yeah, the youth. We can switch topics, but you said something just now, like even you said most kids, if it's in you, it's in you. If it ain't, it ain't.
Yeah.
And I know a guy. I should call his name. I ain't call his name. Yeah. He been wanting it since he was a youngster. I'm gonna give his initial, JB. You know what I'm talking about. JB been wanting it since he was a youngster. I mean, man, and I don't understand it, like, cause when he was around me, and I consider myself as helping to raise him.
Yeah, right.
And I wasn't in that environment. I mean, I wasn't doing. I know he knew I was from around the way and all that. He knew I knew all the guys and all that, but I wasn't involved in nothing like that. But that outside influence, that motherfucker. I mean, Slim. Shorty trying to give me, this how slick Shorty was at a young age. And like, he was under 10. No, he was under like 12. He come to me, he said, Big Neil, I just had this jacket over my people's house. I left my jacket over his people's house, and my man wore it. And when I got it back, it had this on. He gave me a double weed. He probably was selling it. He probably was selling it
way back then.
But that's the way he is to try to give it to me. But he know he's gonna be. And I said, man, get that shit out of my face. And told him, take that shit off. I said, but I wanted to take it though. but that was my little. I had to be that daughter in the situation. All right, man, get that shit out of here. But then later on down the line, we do business.
Yeah.
So I mean, am I wrong?
I was about to ask you, do you fault yourself for that? How you feel about that? Did you feel like, damn, I'm doing business with him, man? I
and that's like,
guy. But do you feel like shit? He gonna do it anyway?
I kind of feel guilty, because it's so many people I can do business with that ain't him. But in my ghetto hood, man, I'm like, why not give it to you? You know what I mean? Why not keep it in the family?
Yeah, see?
So I mean, I may be wrong, but man, I am who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not who I'm not. I'm not gonna be him. I'm not him, but I am who I am. You hear me?
Yeah.
But I would feel bad, but I still do it, so I can't even knock it. How about yourself?
It's almost like, even if you don't condone it, like, think about this right here. If you don't condone it and you on his ass all the time, and what happens when he starts to avoid you? And now y'all got that relationship and it become distant. And then really get out there.
That's when you
fuck really
up.
Get out there and get all the way in. And then you know, 1 or 2, 3 things gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know how that go.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Nah, no bet, no question.
Yeah. That's it, man. There's only
but
two things gonna happen.
But that's why when you want to hold on to them relationships, when you got a relationship with kids that's in the streets, or doing not just in the streets but all kids, you want to have a relationship with them.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if it's a small relationship. You want to have a relationship with them. So like with my kids, I always tell my kids, man, you can come and talk to me about anything. I don't give a fuck what it is. And I'm like, cause I'm gonna give you some genuine advice. I want to be able to give you some advice so you can see the other side of it. Cause once you go to one of your peers, y'all mind frame is on the same frequency.
Yeah.
So the advice he gonna give you is some shit you gonna agree with.
Right.
The shit I'm gonna give you advice, or you'll give your kid advice, is gonna come from a mature, older perspective. And 9 times out of 10, they gonna wait that shit.
I was just about to say they probably not gonna like it, but it's gonna be real, and it's more than likely it's gonna be the right thing to do.
Be the right thing to do.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So with that being said, it's almost that's a tough situation right there.
That's a tough jump, man. That's a tough
situation right there. But do you also?
A lot of people in that situation though.
Do you want your kids? It's almost like, do you tell them, well, look, man, you gonna do this and do that. You might well, keep me in the loop, and man, you know what I'm saying? Man, you kick it, or we basically go in business together. Guess what? I'm gonna tell you like this, man.
That's a tough one.
When I realized my son was in the streets and he was doing what he was doing, I said, well, fuck it, he gonna do it. It ain't like he gonna stop. I already tried to get him to stop on more than one occasion. So I already tried to get him stop on more than one occasion. He's still doing what he do. So now I'm gonna give him every piece of the game that I know, front and back. Try to protect him. That's all I can do, because you're gonna do it regardless. So now all I can do is give you the ins and outs.
As you should.
And you know what's so funny?
A lot of people frown upon that, but I think you're doing the right thing.
I was about to say, guess what though? I don't.
Especially if he coming to you and he asking you like pops, or if you just see how he moving, you see he moving it wrong, then you say, nah, look, come on, man, we don't do like that.
Like you should have done that. Why you doing this? This, that, and the third.
Yeah.
And then you try to teach them, like I gave him the oats rule, man. I tried to give him this right there, and he took that and ran with it. And I gave him the oats rule, and I told him, man, you out there doing what you do? This how you save some money and don't never touch it, man. Every day you put up $10 a day.
Oh yeah.
It's $300 a month.
Yeah.
You put up $10 a day and don't never touch it, man.
Yeah. Do that shit for a year.
You out there doing something. Your first transaction, man. You should be putting up $10 out there every day.
Yeah.
And he took it and ran with it.
Yeah. Probably been prosperous off that shit too.
Took it and ran with it, man. How much he applied, I don't know. But that was something I learned from somebody else. That was something a guy gave me in the streets.
Well, back then, yeah, I was fortunate enough to hit that same lingo.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
I'm probably putting up 5 a day. You know what I wasn't making much as he was making.
you know where it come from, man.
No question.
That's hard.
Yeah.
That's harder than going to school every day getting good grades. You gotta be disciplined to do that, man. Think about this. You got somebody doing something illegal, and they applying their mind to it to a certain level to do it on a high degree. When I'm talking about saving and being disciplined and doing this and that, like it's a lot that come with it. That's why
it's deep.
Our youngers get in the game and don't be successful.
Now I'm gonna tell you like this: if for a motherfucker that's getting in the game, or a motherfucker that's in the game just getting in the game, if your motherfucking goal not to get out the game at some point, you're in it for the wrong reason. Yeah. Or if you in the game and you motherfucking you outside every day, you outside all night, you got drugs, but you can't save no money, or your savings ain't stacked up like that.
wasting your time.
You in the way. That would nigga tell you, man, you in the way, cause you could be getting a job. You can get you a job now at this age. You out here bullshitting the street. By the time you get 21, you can have like 10 years in working, or 9 years in working if you starting off at a young age. But
you know the basic.
Oh, that other shit got tripping. Yeah,
you gotta be 16. So
yeah, by the time you 21, you got 5, 6 years in.
4, 5 years, shit like
that. You out here in the streets running, but you ain't going the way you running in place. You like this whole ass. You got all the shoes, you got all the, the car, but you ain't. You in the
think
way.
About this.
You ain't got no money to say.
How we talk about the youth and how the streets affecting them. We basically telling how the streets affected us coming up. The same way it's affecting them.
Because we ain't talking down. We ain't talking down. We talking Mr. Bird.
Man, guess what?
We ain't talking down.
You know what's so funny? And my kids don't understand. Sometimes I get frustrated when they make the same mistakes that I made and I told them about.
Yeah, that's the
and
word.
then they still making the same. And I just be like in my head, like, bruh, I want you to be better than me. Like, you don't understand. But then I had to understand. See, because I'm grown. I was a young parent. So I had to understand that, man, no matter what you do, they're going to take their own path. Yeah, no matter what you do, you just got to give them, like you said, positive reinforcement and give them all the tools to be successful, man. And they got to apply it, man, just like you had to apply it. And we didn't do everything that our parents taught us, man.
But guess what? This is another thing, though, Tip, on some real shit. Like, we gotta give them their time, cause we took a little time and wasted in the streets, and we got out here on the street now.
There you go.
So it may hopefully it don't take them long time. Hopefully they catch on early. And that's the thing,
That's why I can't never beat my kids up about nothing, man, cause I dabbled and dabbled in the streets for a long time and wasn't making no money. Yeah. I was out that jump for years, wasn't making no. I'm retarded. I was out that jump for years, not making no money, dumbass. Out this junk, wasting time it took to me to get in my, I'm gonna say late 20s, maybe early 30s. Maybe I probably was 31, 32 before I worked a consistent job that I kept. All the other jobs I walked away because I thought I could go back out in the street. Yeah. But this how stupid, man. It's about how we say making decisions, man. You gotta be intelligent.
Yeah.
I wasn't the sharpest knife in the jaw, not to call myself stupid, but I wasn't making good decisions because I was quitting the jobs I had because I thought I can go back to the streets and hustle. But you wasn't making no money, dumb. Yeah. What you was going back out there to do?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, see, but I didn't see the big picture. And then when I got old, I said, God damn. I should have listened. I'm dumb as a motherfucker.
Guess what? The game is now. I be telling youngers in the post. I don't know if they be recognized, but you gotta be able to skin. It's more than one way to skin a cat. How they say it. So even if you is doing your, like you say, you had your job, you could have kept your job, and on the side, that's the best thing. And especially with the job as with the kids, they gotta realize now, if you get a job, man, you can't retire until you work what? How many years? Like 30, 40 years?
25 years.
You gotta be like 65 to get to retire.
So think about that. And that's why
come on, man.
That's why that made your point exactly what we were saying about earlier about, man, waiting, you regretting it. Think about what I just said about, man, in my early 30s when I realized, man, I remember I had the job, I liked it. This was the first job I liked, the contracting job. And after about 2 months, I said to myself, damn, I just had figured out what this came from. I said, damn, motherfuckers been hustling these jobs all these years. My dumb ass going outside. I could have been doing this shit, man. It's sweet.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing, man. But this, because I realized, okay, this is something I like. It can pay my bills. I can have what I want. And I've been working for the last 12, 13 years, man. Since then, man, like consistently, I never done that. I always, man, anything I got mad on the job, I might say, man, fuck you. I ain't making no more sandwiches. I'm gone. I quit, man. I'm getting the fuck up. Man, fuck y'all. I might not show up. Just stop showing up, man. Anything, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it took everybody. It don't click all the time, man. I was too big. All I wanted to do was get high and hang in the street.
Hey, Tony, what's up, sis?
That's all I wanted to do.
Listen, if anybody want to eat one of these lives, man, if y'all want to chime in, man, or y'all can punch it on the live, y'all can get in on this jump. But I wanted to, we gonna shift a little weight a little bit. I got a topic, not even a topic. I just wanted to talk to you about something about my supervisor. I had a supervisor when I worked at the convention center, right?
Okay.
I had a supervisor. Man, this nigga ain't get along at all.
Okay.
Like, And it's like now that I thought about it, I think about all the shit we done went through with
y'all
this nigga.
still work together now?
Nah, I don't.
You hang with this guy?
Nah, I don't know.
What's his name? Douglas Robinson?
His name. I'm about to give his name.
Nah, fuck with you.
But the nigga was a wild nigga, and it's kind of like he had me so frustrated that I used to always blame him for how I was acting.
Right.
And then it took, like I say, I took from my mother-in-law to talk to me 30 to 40 times to let me know, man, you gonna let this man trick you out your job, and he gonna trick you out your money every week, paying your wife, paying your bills, taking care of your wife and your family. So you gonna let him trick you out your spot. And I couldn't understand. I'm like, why the fuck she think I'm like, this nigga, man, this nigga doing this, how this shit nigga keep doing all this bullshit. But one day it finally clicked in my head that I'm the problem. All the shit I was blaming him for is because I was letting him get to me.
That's tough, Slim. That's tough.
And then once I realized that
that's tough, huh?
I'm the problem, I put a halt to all that shit. He was no longer a threat to me. He was no longer all the irritating shit he used to do. Once I realized I was the problem, was causing all these crazy outbursts, I let all that go. I was able to be like, you know what? The shit he was doing, I was like, okay, sir, thank you. We even came to a mutual. I even went to this guy, told this guy, I said, listen, we used to bicker so much. I said, Slim, after me and my mother-in-law had a talk, I said, listen, after the day, man, you ain't gonna never have another problem again. As long as I work here, we'll never have another problem. But before that, then they'll come in and bring me out of work to do. I'm like, man, how the fuck we got all this work? It'll be a whole blow-up situation. Just because I think he was. For one, I know they're being spiteful, and for two, I know the work was being distributed for the morning crew and the evening crew. They was giving us the pile of work. We had to do damn near everything. We had to do everything the morning crew that didn't do. So it was a lot that me and him went through, but I was always getting in trouble from this nigga, right? And he was my supervisor. And once my mother-in-law set me down and said, listen, don't let him trick you out your spot or none of that. I finally came to my senses. Went to work, did everything else I was been doing, but I no longer let that nigga get to me. That nigga could have came and gave me a book this big to go rooms to do.
So how did you deal with it? What was the adjustments you made to deal with it? How did you block? You just ignored them, just blocked them out?
My biggest thing was,
I need to take this lesson to my job.
My biggest thing was,
I need to take this lesson to my job.
Knowing that at any time this nigga can, what my mother-in-law said, stop me from being able to pay my rent, stop me from being able to pay my car notes, stop me from being able to get my kids school clothes. So in order for me, and then like my wife used to tell me, if you don't like it, I don't want to hear you keep crying, get another job. That was my wife would tell me, and she cold-hearted sometimes. So, I love her for it. But I love her for it. But I just made an adjustment where though I told my family and shit, and like I said, me paying my bills over. Getting into it with the nigga, then at any time they could be like, man, fire, he gone. And then when I did get in trouble, and it was time for me to fire me, none of them niggas went to bat for me because we had already had a fucked up relationship. Now, if we would have been cool and always got along when my name came up, the nigga was like, nah, man, I know Neil ain't had nothing to do with that, but our relationship, he probably made that nigga go.
Yeah, and that's tough. See, I
fucked up,
I got the same issues right now in that work. Right now, the same issues, man.
Let it go, son.
With the powers that be, I be trying my hardest.
You can't fight them. You can't fight them, Tip. You can't fight them. I'm gonna give you some.
I don't really have no control over it, man. But like your wife told you, and I know too. I can't keep complaining if I don't like it. I gotta get another job. It's some circumstances beyond my control right now. That's stopping there, but as soon as everything is taken care of, man, I'll be moving on to
Tanya said that's how I feel in this building.
I'm telling you, man. And then you think about this right here.
I feel you, sis.
In your job, your place of business, man.
Yeah, you want to be comfortable. You want to be peaceful. Yeah,
it's not a good feeling, man. It's not a good, especially when you feel like somebody with power over top of you is
go out their way to pick on you. Yeah,
but it can be like, you know what I'm saying, it gets like that. Yeah. And if any supervisors on here, y'all know, keep it real, y'all know y'all be fucking with people sometimes when you ain't got to, man. Don't do the regular worker like that. If you're a supervisor, don't be petty, man.
Yeah, don't be
petty. Don't be petty, man. Don't be petty, man. You gotta think about what a person go through. I try not to be I try not to be petty. I try my hardest not to be petty, man.
They say you get more bees with honey than shit. So you...
Absolutely, absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. When you happy on your job, man, it's almost like being happy in your relationship.
I'm trying to tell you, son.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, man. When you happy on your job, it's damn near like being happy in your relationship, man. It just goes both ways. But also, I want to say, for those, we got a lot of people on these jobs, man. A lot of doing little snake shit and snitching and trying to get people in trouble, man. Stop being petty, man. Stop doing all that old behind the back shit. Trying to snitch on people or set people up to fail and things of that nature, man. Stop that, man. We don't need that, man. You gotta think about you. I hate a person to try to go after a person. You gotta think about a person's livelihood, man. You gotta think, like, guess what? If that person did something to deserve to lose their job, man, you gotta let the powers that be handle that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let the powers that be handle that, man. Because guess what? I believe you gonna get yours, man. What I mean by that, man, if you doing what you supposed to do, you gonna get your blessing, man. You gonna get your blessing, man. Yeah. Just don't abuse your power or your authority, man. You got a lot of that go on, man.
And I'm gonna give you a situation of how the nigga. I just knew this nigga was picking on me every time. So I had the skirt. We had set like 20 rooms, right? So my supervisor told me, he said, listen, I want you to go skirt all the tables in the room, right? So once I go, I went there, knocked all the tables out, and I was coming back, and one of his like close friends on the job, which is a female, she an older foreign lady, she said, you back so fast, you ain't do all the time. I said, man, I ain't doing no motherfucking tables, fuck them tables. And I kept moving. I used to talk to him like that because I knew they was best friend. I ain't fuck with her either. She's just snitching all that shit. I was like, man, I ain't doing that shit, fuck y'all, I ain't doing it, you go do that shit. So, cause I used to be, hey, I ain't fuck with none of them. So she tell Mike, she tell Mike, man, Neil ain't do the table. Neil, they going back snitching. I had already did this shit, right? So they going back snitching. She go back and tell Mike, man, Neil, I just seen Neil. We ain't gonna do the tables and this. We gonna be behind and all of us gonna have to do the work and we gonna take us from doing this and that. We gotta go help them and all that old goofy shit, right? So Mike, as a man, when she say that, he supposed to immediately say, okay, let me go see if this nigga did what he supposed to do. He called me, man, why you ain't set them tables? I said, Mike, he said, man, why you ain't skirt the table like I told you to do, man? I said, Mike, fuck you. I said, what you talking about? I said, them tables set. He said, man, no, they ain't, man. I said, man, the tables is skirting and everything, every last one of them. I said, Slim, you need to stop listening to them motherfucking old ass bitches. Told him just like that, cause I knew we got it, bro. Nice, we gonna try to bleep that out. I'm sorry, but at the moment, man, y'all, you feel my pain. Like I'm telling you, she was being a bitch. She was being a bitch, and I told her. I ain't tell her, but I told him. I said, Mike, man, stop listening to that joke, man. Stop listening to them hot ass.
You set her up,
man.
I set her up. You said you knew you was gonna, but his dumb ass should have went and check and made sure. Yeah, he should have went and check and made sure.
Let me go see if Neil did this shit.
Just because you know he about to approach you, you got to have all his ducks in a row. He's not a good supervisor.
He's not a good supervisor. And guess what? A lot of time, I'm gonna tell you that. But I just came to the realization after working with this guy for over 15 years, right? The reason why I didn't respect him, that I can honestly look at him and say, the reason why I didn't respect this guy was for one, I come from the hood. I grew up, I sold drugs, I've been around the drugs and shit, I've been around pipeheads, I know what pipeheads look like, I know how they conduct themselves. This nigga was a dope fiend. He was a dope fiend, and I ain't respect him. And it took a lot out of me to follow his authority. And then on top of your authority, you're a piper and you pressing me out. Like I'm like, nigga, I'll fuck you up in this Jones.
You gotta think about that. That's how some of the people that worked in the mayor's office felt about Man Bird. You gonna tell me what to do? You smoking coke? You know they were still a little upset, but they had to respect him. We still with the mayor. We still with the mayor. We still love them. We had to respect him, even though nigga was a crackhead. We like, man, motherfucker, man. You know how that same thing in the that's the same thing in the streets, basically, like motherfucker. But I went through the same thing. With somebody I know, Perm, when I was coaching, and I didn't respect them because I knew he used to smoke.
Right.
And when he was trying to give me this, that, and that, I'm just like, nigga,
he trying to give you, he trying to give you some game on the score.
Yeah, he was not. I think he was telling me to chill out or something of that nature. He wasn't really giving me no insight on the score. He was trying to check me.
Oh, okay.
And I like to explode it. Right. Then I caught myself and I thought about it, and I'm like, oh. But in my head, I'm like, man, who the fuck you talking to? Nigga, you is the fucking crackhead.
Fuck you talking to? Go across your motherfucking head with a bat or something.
What we gotta do is we gotta stop dehumanizing motherfuckers that use drugs, man. But that's our family and our friends, man. I had to think about that shit. Them motherfuckers human, man. After that experience right there, later on, like some of my closest motherfuckers I'll be cool with, been some of my customers. Whether it been a crackhead or something like that, them some of my best friends. Yeah, and I don't even sell drugs no more. But just we built a bond besides just the drugs. Right. Some people like I see through it because I had both of my parents was on drugs. So I've experienced it. And then I come up in a household with family members on drugs. So I know that, man, them motherfuckers still human. Even every one of the people I just named in my family, I still love, despite their drug use.
Yeah.
All of them, whether it was aunts or uncles or mothers and fathers or whatever the case may be, I didn't love you no less. I might not have trusted your motherfucker, man. I might have watched you. We might have watched you, you understand me? But other than that, man, come on, man. What we do is, man, we treat them motherfuckers like they the scum of the earth, man.
But they not.
It's an addiction. It's a disease. Think about it. It's a disease.
Yeah, everybody got a story. Everybody got a story.
I got a disease. I'm ill with weed. I'm sick with weed, marijuana disease. Yeah, I get marijuana yayana. That's what they call it.
Marijuana.
They call it marijuana yayana, and I got it, man. I've been trying to get rid of this thing for 20 years.
Like Tanya said, everybody got a story to tell, son. Like,
marijuana yayana.
A lot of motherfuckers just don't get to tell their story, though, Tanya. A lot of motherfuckers just, they hold that shit in. They don't ever want to let that shit out. You gotta be confident on what you saying about certain shit, cause like he just said, his mom was on it, or dad. My father was a dope fiend. He rested his soul. My mother was a drunk that cleaned herself up. My father cleaned himself up too. But they had histories that we had to go through with them as kids. That should have kind of like made us not want to go down.
That's so funny.
That's why I really usually drink like that.
You making my point again. Those people we just named, we didn't love them no less. Another motherfucker outside our family might say, man, your motherfucker drunk ass uncle, man. Yeah. Fuck you, man. Your motherfucker crackhead ass mother. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know that shit hit home, tried to hit you where it hurt, man. But that you couldn't hurt me with that shit, man. Yeah, but everybody was a crackhead to me, nigga. Yeah. I'm like, come on, nigga. Man. You better get the fuck on out of here, man. You know?
Especially in Alabama, everybody that was in that motherfucker was damn cracked out.
Everybody done did that, man. You know that thing came and tore down some families, man. That thing came and turned Mr. Wilson into old man Mr. Wilson, man. Mr. Wilson might have had 2 cars, a house, and some more things, a family and every motherfucking thing, man. That motherfucking crack hit, and everything went away. They smoked everything. Every motherfucking thing, man. Young fella, what's up? What's up, CB? You just chopping it up, man.
Tanya said y'all did y'all thing back in the day, but y'all was always stand-up guys. Yeah. Man. I much respect. I appreciate it.
I was about to say, I appreciate
from somebody that's seen us grow up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, watched us grow up. Yeah.
What's up, Tone? That's my man, Tone on there. Yeah, Tone. We just chopping it up about just different shit, man.
But Tony, that family environment not there no more. Think about how we came up when we was coming up in the old neighborhood, man. Like everybody was family, man. I can get in trouble from everybody in the court. Anybody that knew my grandmother's name might call your name. Damn it! You better get in there and tell us. Yeah. You already know. You already know everybody. You had to duck everybody, man. You had to duck. It's no more of that, man. Motherfuckers see a kid doing something they ain't got no business. They gonna snatch their kids and get the fuck away from little Billy. He bad as a motherfucker. Come on, get your ass. Come on in here. Get the fuck away from little Billy.
Somebody asked me the other day. I seen something the other day. It's like the youngest in the hood, not the babies, but the 20-some years, the 19 to 25, 24, 25-year-olds. They ain't got no OG guys.
It's no more.
I know I'm an OG to a couple of homies, but I think in my situation, if you're not out there with them every day, they not gonna really listen to you.
We ain't out there. I was saying
not out there. I ain't even gonna say not even listen to them, because a lot of motherfuckers listen, and a lot of youngers call me and reach out for advice, and I keep the buck with them. But a lot of times, I think if you're not directly in the environment with them, it's hard for them to listen to them. But then I got to double back and think. A lot of them sit back, and the best teacher is a silent teacher. Mm-hmm. You feel me? So they see OG used to be out here every day. We used to see him out every day when we was little. Now OG on some other shit. OG with the family. OG with the kids. OG moved into a house. OG working every day.
That's why it ain't nothing like that.
The silent teacher is the best teacher. So we can say what we gotta say to them, but if it don't reach them, they watching.
The best thing for me is me transitioning to fingertips and doing the food now. I can come back and show them a different hustle. They seen me for years standing out there by the same with the spot they standing and doing the same thing they doing. The same, you know what I'm saying? They saw me right there. But now, when I come to the hood, I got a brand. I'm selling food. I'm doing something. They can see, say, well, damn, OG was out here slanging that. He's slanging chicken wings and shit, fish sandwiches and shit like that. It's a struggle. It ain't nothing like what it was out there. But I ain't got to look over my goddamn shoulder. Man. Police ain't gonna fuck with me. I ain't got to do it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to do all that shit. All that. This not the chance. The risk. You know what I'm saying? This risk outweighs the reward to me. Of doing it legally, man. I like it. I'm stress free. It's slow money, but it's my money.
But it's show money.
Yeah,
it's slow money, but it's show money.
And it's my legal money. You can't do nothing to me about it. I ain't got to worry about you trying to motherfucker lock me up, investigate me or nothing, man. You know what I'm saying, me? And I also, hopefully, I can get this thing to a level where I can leave something to my kids, man. And I don't have to, how we was talking about earlier, I don't have to be getting into it with that motherfucker supervisor that I don't like. Now I'm the supervisor.
Man, I'm the man, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But we working on that, man. That's coming soon, man. We definitely working on that, man. We gonna bring that one to fruition, man. Absolutely, we gonna bring that one to fruition.
Man, like it's like you say, we gonna shout out some of our good positive men, like shoot guns now hoops, like Bill got a good movement going.
Shoot hoops not guns, you mean?
I mean shoot hoops not guns on Instagram. Y'all tap into them, man. My man got something real positive going on.
Reinforcement, man.
And to be honest, he inspired me, son. He inspired me. I be wanting to get up and go do things with him. Right. But it was that COVID shit going on, and you know, I was kind of separating myself from going outside and being around a lot because that COVID shit was kicking in. I kind of like wanted to keep my family safe, so. But I'm so proud of homie, man, for doing what he's doing. I'm proud of my man right here too for your food thing too.
Yeah, but just to piggyback on that thing about shoot who's not guns, man. It's an awesome program he got going on. He also the head coach of the JV up there, Chavez, man. He doing a lot, man. He giving back to the community on all the holidays and things of that nature. Then you got the Box Don't Blast. That's another nonprofit joint, a positive reinforcement organization that come from our neighborhood, man. You got 12 Round Fitness if you're trying to get in shape, man.
Yeah, Big Duke.
Hey,
get your body right. I'm trying to tell you.
Anybody else that I forgot about? Don't forget equipment. For the Richie just got some new hoods in, man. Some new hoodies in, man. Them Jones awesome. Go check them Jones out for the Richie. Right there, that's another positive thing coming out the neighborhood. So it ain't all bad, man. It ain't all bad. We're gonna try to get what was that 4 to 5 things I named right there? That fast. We trying to get 45 programs and positive things going out of there, and then we'll take it to a whole nother level, man. So this just the beginning, man. This just the beginning.
Like man, I think I can see, man, you getting together doing some little shit for the community, and then a lot of shit don't even cost money.
Nah,
a lot of shit don't like. The shit that really matter don't cost no money. That motherfucking that intellectual and that advice costs more than anything. Like I think I wanted Graham. I think me and Graham. I wanted Graham. We used to be talking to Graham, me, him, and Ray Douglas. I used to be like, Graham, man, all of us should just get together. Even I think I mentioned he mentioned like get together all the OGs and just get one youngin. Probably a month, take one of our youngins that we watch grow up, and if they willing to sit down and talk to us. And man, I mean, not on no getting in your not on no getting in your business, but express whatever you want to feel and get some OG advice back on it.
That's a hell of a suggestion, man.
I love to do that.
And then like
I love to do that.
We definitely need to move forward with that.
Yeah,
man,
I love to do that.
Even if you don't do nothing but an hour,
man, yeah,
once a month or once a week or something like that, man. Just spend an hour. Just think about this: if you ain't got an hour out your week to give back to these youngers, man, then you don't really care. Like, man, you gotta find a way, man.
And guess what? We can get to know them a little better. They can get to know us a little better, man. And once they get to know us, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, they coming from a good space. They ain't out here just trying to be in the nigga business and do all that old goofy shit. This shit is some genuine shit we trying to put together. Or we gonna put together. I don't give a fuck. If we can start off with our kids. We can do Lil Neil, we can do Tip, we can do Mondre, we can do Lloyd.
Yeah.
So motherfucker, so we can throw our shit in the fire first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we can bring it to y'all. We'll bring it to y'all on here. Real shit. And then another thing we gonna do, we supposed to have our special guest today, Face the Nation, but he had prior engagement before he dedicated us to this, and I posted it and put it out there a little early. But we gonna have more special guests coming in here. So y'all, if y'all know anybody,
man, just stick with us, man. Just stick with us. We're a work in progress, man. But we appreciate everybody that's in right now and showing love and support, man, out there, man. We definitely appreciate that, man.
Yeah, whatever questions you got, whatever topics you want, Tip. I had something that I wanted to say, but I forgot.
I wanted to discuss what do we think about the effect of single parent upbringings is having on the youth. Do you think that's the cause of some of this? A lot of what we talking about today is the youth, but you got a lot of single moms, mostly single moms. You got a few single dads, but you got single parents bringing these kids up, man. And it don't always turn out bad. It don't always turn out good. Yeah. But what do you think? What do you think the effectiveness of, or the cause and effect of that is?
Toronto's done a great job in what they do. 12 second chance points.
For one, I'm gonna go back to what Tanya said. Tanya said it take a village to raise. It take a village to raise these kids. So if you're a single parent, man, and you out here, the best thing I think you can do is let your babies grow up. Try to keep them as safe as possible and pray on them. If you living in a good environment, then cool. They won't be influenced. Then you'll be able to have a greater influence over them. But if you're a single parent and you in an environment that your kid, that you know them type of environment that your kid can get influenced in, do your very best to get out that environment. That's the key to it. You gotta remove them from them outside influences. Like we say, a lot of times them outside influences be more deeper than what they learn in the house. So for a single mom, yeah, your best thing is to move.
I think a lot of times we especially with the males and the females too, man. We always say boys need their daddies, man. Girls need their daddies too.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Especially with our teenage and young girls, man. You need your dad around to show you how a nigga supposed to treat you, man. You need your dad around to show you how a man supposed to treat you, man. You know what I'm saying? And then we also need to teach our daughters, for those who have them, or even if you got stepdaughters. If you around these young ladies, man, these are our family, this is our community. Coming up, whether it's your daughter, not your stepdaughter, whatever the case may be, man. We got to show them how they supposed to be treated, and we got to start teaching our young men how to lead too, man. Even though we learning it too, we got to teach the young men how to lead. So I think, so to speak, I think sometimes, not all the time, because I know a lot of single parents, I don't want nobody to think I'm taking a shot at nobody or nothing of that nature. I think a lot of single parents, single moms, get a bad rap. You understand what I'm saying? I think a lot of single moms get blamed when the kid go left, or the kid end up doing something wrong. But you got to think about this too. I know you hear a lot of stories where, and I noticed this because you know we in the sports. I see it one time every year when I'm watching the draft. It's always one kid that come through there that they talking about who was raised by a single parent or something like that. So it don't always turn out bad. It's like how we were saying earlier. It's about the choices they make. You know what I'm saying? The decisions they make when they get out here on their own, man. You can't. I don't think we can blame the single parent upbringing for a lot of the decisions that's being made out here, man. It's like because you don't really have no control over it, for real.
You don't.
You know what I'm saying? Something like what you gonna do if dad ain't around, man? Most of the time, that's who it is.
You can't teach
sad to say, most of the time, the dad is the one who makes the family a single parent home.
The majority of the time. The majority of the time.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man.
What Tanya say? Tanya say, I just tried to push them in to be their best. Hold up.
Oh, man. Oh, let me get your hour, man.
To be their own person that's working hard for something you will for.
Make more good.
Ain't getting into fast money, no bullshit. Struggle don't stop. Hey, JB, we just talking about you, boy. My young nigga right there. That's my young boy right there.
I'm jumping off, man.
Oh, I gotta stop. Do I got any more motion on this jump? Why the jump keep stopping? Yeah, but we back, man. Y'all, come on, join in the podcast. Somebody jump on the live with us, nigga. If y'all ain't scared, chime in on some of these topics. And like Bill Tip said, we gonna get my man James. You gonna have to be one of our guests too. We about to get together, man. Tip about to start snatching the youngest up and we gonna chop it up with y'all. Let y'all chop it up with us. I can tell you what's on our mind, but you can tell us what's on your mind. But that's only if you want.
If you're someone who likes earning rewards as much as earnings reports,
feel good outside too, man. Y'all start.
Y'all, so we just on the Clown Live right now. Well, yeah. Back to what we were saying about the single parent upbringing, man.
I know a lot of people. I was raised in a single parent home with my mom, and a lot of shit I used to do, my moms didn't know. I ain't consult my moms on shit. Like, I ain't consult my mom on nothing.
But your mom was thorough though.
But my mom, guess
like
what?
You know what I'm saying?
When you live in a community like how we live in, you can't hide nothing from your moms.
Nah.
Even though I wasn't telling her nothing, she knew. I'm gonna give you an example. I don't know if you know this, but my mom went hard on me. She say, listen, you ain't doing the right thing. But she said, you not as a teenage kid, you not about to be in my house, laying around, eating my food, drinking up my juice, using my AC, heat, water, whatever, while I'm at work working. So she came to the decision, and my mom was thorough, and she went hard like this. She said, every morning I get up, go to work, you go the fuck outside until I get home. Dead ass. She tell me, every day I get up and go to work, you getting the fuck up and you going out this house, and you I don't care where you go at. When I come back home, you can come back in. So I said, okay, cool. First day, I get up, she get up, go to work, she take me outside with, I walk her to the bus stop, she get on the bus, I come back, go in the house. Right? The next day, same thing, come back, go in the house. The third day, she got a little information that Neil was going back in the house. So the next time that shit happened, wake me up in the morning, go to the bus stop, she get on the bus, I go try to get back in the house. This time, the locks on the door changed. She got the motherfucker rent over to come change the locks, because the community spoke up. Like I said, we ain't gotta always see what they doing or with the kid. The community stepped up and told her, listen, they're going in the house. And after that, I was on the streets. Deep though, Slim, like mom had a vicious tactic for me, Slim. A vicious tactic.
I don't consider being raised in a single parent home. My mother or my father, my grandma raised me.
That's still
I had
single.
aunts and uncles I had a lot of so I just kind of looked at them like big brothers and father figures and things of that nature. Like I had a lot of father figures, if you ask me. I had several uncles. Like so when Dad wasn't around, you know, I was still held down. You know what I'm saying? I had several male figures, and believe it or not, when them niggas was on my ass, they tried to get me to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Like think about that. You got 5 or 6 uncles, man, trying to tell you to do the right thing. And you still out here fucking up. Ain't no single parent. That ain't got shit to do with single parent. That was me making them decisions. That ain't I wanted to do what the fuck I wanted to do. That's the problem with a lot of kids right now. That ain't got nothing to do with no damn single parent home or none of that right there. You see, but you got some parents can't pay attention like other parents do, or everybody don't move the same.
You know, so you got one be the disciplinary, one be the soft, one the kind-hearted one. I think I'm the more the laid-back, kind-hearted one.
I'm definitely the kind-hearted one till I get mad. Then I start cursing like a sailor, going off all type of shit. I don't care about nothing. Your feelings and all that shit, I don't really care. I'm just pissed off, disgusted, and I'm trying to But man,
damn, Tony, you just getting off shit.
I wish we can do more to alleviate the single parent homes. That means we got to, and this is going to be the next subject that we get to, probably. But that means we got to, man, keep these families together, man.
No, I'm gonna tell you what we gotta start doing, son. This some real shit. We gotta start making the motherfucking relationship with the women be a thing, man. Niggas acting like having a girl is a bad thing, son. That's most of the part of having a family together. Niggas gotta be willing to be dedicated to a female and stay in a relationship. Cause once you get to dipping and dabbing out here in the streets and shit, man, you're gonna jeopardize everything. You hear me, Slim? So I think we gotta preach more of being dedicated and being loyal. And that women ain't bitches and all these hoes and shit, man. But it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a hard battle for the simple fact that everything they see, everything they hear is going against what we trying to tell them. Like when they listen to the music, these bitches, these hoes. When you look at the TV, 2 women fucking, 2 men fucking, and all like that.
Man, that's some wild shit right there.
It's like damn, we at home trying to tell them to get you a husband and a wife and respect the women, but everything they get hearing and shit is degrading the black women, speaking against the black families and shit. It's like with some men and women, they get pulled from both ways. They like, what the fuck would do?
And I'm gonna say it's a sensitive subject, man. It's a sensitive subject, man. No bull, I don't even want to touch that jump right there, man.
Remember
about the men and the men and the women and the women, man. It's almost like it's a style, it's a new thing. You gotta think about this when you look at the commercials. I'm gonna leave it alone after this. But when you look at the commercials now,
I'll be peeping.
You see what I'm saying? You peep that little stuff like, and I said, damn. This a regular Walmart commercial now.
They holding gays, holding hands and kissing and shit. I'm like,
it could be 2 guys, 2 anything. And I'm like, damn, they promoting, like, one time I seen a joint, man, I said, what the fuck they trying to tell me? They had a white woman, a black woman, and a Chinese baby. And I said, what the fuck, what the fuck the message? These 2, excuse me. I said, these 2 women done adopted this baby because they didn't make it.
No.
Like, I just, like, what they trying to tell me? This they family? How this family come about? So what you live, you learn with like the styles and the trends and new things come out. Times change, man. And we got to adapt with the times, man. Whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, man. Times change, man. So
I'm gonna ask the question, like, what advice would you give a youngin that's in the streets today? What advice to try to lead them in the right direction? To give them something else to think about. What advice can we give them to be on? And just something different to hear. You know what I mean? Like I talk to a kid, man. It's like they be so motherfucking stuck on work and all that shit and getting drugs.
You gotta,
like, I don't be want to talk about that shit, man. I don't be want to talk about that.
I think you got to hear them out and see where they coming from. You got to try to pick their mind, see what's on their mind, see where they head at, see where they heart at, and then you can go from there. Like, they, you know what I'm saying? Like what they into, what they want to do, and like what they want to do as far as what they sell. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we kind of impose our will on what we want them to do or how we want them to move on them.
Yeah.
And it don't always work like that.
Yeah, they want to do their own thing.
Yeah, and they ain't into what we into. Like, you know what? When we was talking about earlier about how we would just to go back to the single parent thing.
This joint ain't be cool.
But you can't control those situations a lot of times, Plums. Like